「 Aloha, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Whittier Rose Hills Church's Autumn Memorial Ceremony for 2023. Thank you very much for attending. So don't mind me. I might be looking this way or might look this way because I have I'm using my cell phone for the Instagram Live, and then I have this for YouTube. But anyway, without any further ado, let's begin our Autumn Memorial Ceremony. Please note, this is I think has to be one of the longer ceremonies, only because we do recite the names of those who departed, who are related to this church or related to a family member. So it's a pretty long service, but I ask that, in the process of reading the names, as I'm reading each of the names, and I'll do my best to read it as slow as possible. If you hear a name of someone that um, take a little bit of time and talk to that person or say thank you to that person. Maybe that person did something good for you. Maybe that person cared about you. I'm not sure what kind of relationship you might have had with that person, but just take that time to think about that person. And I'm sure that Mitama would be very, very happy to receive your thoughts. So without any further ado, let's begin today's service. Hi, Miko. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Amatsunori to 高間の原にかむずまります。かむろぎかむろみのみこともちて、すめみおやかむいざなぎのみことつくしんの、ひゅうがの立ち花のおどのあわぎはらに、みそぎ払いたまうときに、あれませる払いどのお神たち、もろもろのまがごと積みけがれを払いたまい清めたまえと申すことのよしおはまつ神国津神やおよろずの神たちともに雨のふちこまの耳振り立ててきこしめせとかしこみも申す。大ぬさ行事 Purification Rite。 With each wave, may each and every one of your diseases and discomforts, pain and suffering, and all impurities and negativities be dispelled to the great and vast universe. Allow each and every one of us to be in the purest state of mind, as we are favored, blessed, and protected by the great love, virtue, and energy of Tenchi Kane no Kami. Toritsugishi, mediation prayer. Shido Keirei, please bow your heads in prayer. 慎みて、ひがみ金光大臣の御前に間を割く。今より秋季霊祭取り行わんとす。教祖金光大臣をはじめ、歴代金光様、金光教大阪教会、神戸教会、姫路教会、福崎教会、和平和教会、各教会、初代教会長、歴代教会長の御徳をすがり申し、今日のみ祭り使え祭らんとす。これあげ行わん礼儀極5日に、愚がみ祭る信奉者もろもろ、おのもおのも身を正し、心新たにたかしめたまえと、半取り次恋ネギ立て祭りて、かしこみもます。ひがみ金光大臣、I seek your toritsugi for today's service. Today we conduct the autumn memorial ceremony here at the Konko Church of Whittier-Rose Hill. As someone without virtue, I seek to receive and cling to the virtue of Konko Daijin, the successive Konko Samas, as well as the founding and past head ministers of the Konko churches of Osaka, Kobe, Himeji, Fukuzaki, and Wahiwa for today's service. Today, we have come together with our hearts, bodies, and minds, refreshed, purified, and ready for today's service. Thank you. Now, please raise your heads. Please open your prayer books to page 7 for the Adoration Prayer. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward earth rich and deep. Living amid such gifts of Kami's great giving, how happy and grateful we are. The mediation of Ikiyami Konko Daijin does not stop for a single day. The protection of the Divine Parent embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit through all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, we praise the virtues of Kami. we honor the power of kami. Please bow your heads in prayer. 剣幕も賢き、これの根高教ウィッティアローズヒル教会にお集まりおじこら、今しも尊き限りなき天地に道渡らせられ、我が親神の御前に、根高教ウィッティアローズヒル教会長、井川教師の代わりに、根高教教師、罪病、かしこみも魔王作。On this warm yet beautiful autumn afternoon, here at the Konko Church of Whittier-Hill, your beloved children have gathered together to share our love, sincerity, and appreciation to you for the blessings, favors, and interventions we receive daily. Thank you very much for the favors you have showered upon each of the ujuk of the Whittier-Hill Church. Many of us have continued to receive your okage from our jobs, health, and the greatest okage of all, life. We implore you to please use us as your instruments of peace to make an impact, big or small, on our communities, cities, counties, and countries. Guide us in our hearts and our actions to be embracing, loving, kind, and generous. We pray that the current economic and world situation improves to enable all of us to have a happy and stable life. Please provide us the courage and faith to overcome current and future hardships in our lives. We pray for the victims of tragedies, natural and human-made disasters, to recuperate materially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Please allow the Whittier-Hill Church to continue to be an upstanding and outstanding light in not just Whittier, but also San Diego and Orange counties. Allow us to continue to be wonderful representatives of Kami-sama, Konko-sama, Konko-kyo, and KCNA. As we continue working to achieve our goals in our individual lives, whether it be for our occupation, studies, relationship, and personal growth, help us to remember to enjoy the blessings we are receiving every day. And we ask for your protection and guidance with every step that we take. Please give us the strength to move forward in all aspects of our lives and help us to live a kami-centered life as we are all allowed to live in the universe through your grace. This afternoon, we, your beloved children, have gathered today for the annual Autumn Memorial Ceremony, where we will offer our hearts of love, appreciation, and sincerity to the departed. I ask that with each name, individual family, with each family name, individual name, as well as the name of a church, we remember and reflect on how those individuals have impacted our lives, and that each spirit's virtue be elevated, each unsaved mitama find salvation, and all mitama to be at peace. As this prayer comes to an end, we will be moving over to the mitama altar, or the altar for the deceased, to begin the autumn memorial ceremony. With hearts as one, we give appreciation to those who have come before us. We shall give honor and appreciation to the foundation of our lives and faiths. We pray that the blessings and favor of today's service be granted and received by all here today and those who could not be with us. Me ke aloha pume hana, mahalo anuie, kiami kon kodaijin, tenchi kare no kami. Now, please raise your heads. Chido tomoni haere, 4 sincere claps along with the head officiant. Chido haere, 4 sincere claps. Transition to the Mitama altar. Chido haere, 4 sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith that we handed down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Chido Keire, please bow your heads in prayer. 京都神道をはじめ、連の根高教ウィッティアローズヒル教会にご神言ある家の御霊の神たち、関係教会、関係にあるご霊人に、根高教教師、With much love, sincerity, and respect, I call out your names. We offer our hearts of appreciation to the spirits honored at the altar of the deceased at Headquarters Worship Hall, Osaka Church, Namba Church, Takaoka Church, Kobe Church, Himeji Church, Fukuzaki Church, Magari Church, Portland Church, and Whittier-Rose Hills Church。金光ファミリー、神取ファミリー、厚く御礼申し上げます。神取十平君の御霊の神、神取下姫の御霊の神、金光大臣 's wife、金光とせ一子を明るい姫の御霊の神、Second 金光様、金光詩人つらゆきの君の御霊の神、Second 金光様 's wife、金光清姫の御霊の神、Third 金光様、金光節種の君の御霊の神、Third 金光様 's wife、金光菊代姫の御霊の神、Third 金光様 's son、金光神聖牛の御霊の神、Fourth 金光様、金光鏡太郎君の御霊の神、Fourth 金光様 's wife、金光多宝姫の御霊の神、Fifth 金光様 's son、金光秋信大井つ子の御霊の神、川上ファミリー、近藤ファミリー、松井ファミリー、佐藤ファミリー、白上ファミリー、杉原ファミリー、高橋ファミリー、武部ファミリー、牛尾ファミリー、厚く御礼申し上げ立て祭ります。金光教芸美教会初代、Founding Minister of the Gay Church、佐藤則夫牛の御霊の神、初代夫人、Founding Minister's Wife、佐藤真心高照姫の御霊の神、金光教六条院教会初代、Founding Minister of the 金光 Church of 六条院、高橋富江姫の御霊の神、金光教大阪教会初代、Founding Minister of the 大阪 Church、白上伊谷広間道分けの御事の御霊の神、二代教会長、白上 Second Head Minister of the 大阪 Church、白上道置伊谷高根の君の御霊の神、金光教難波教会初代、Founding Minister of the 難波 Church、金光藤森藤原の神、近藤秋高牛の御霊の神、初代夫人、The Founding Minister's Wife、近藤馬氏真心玉つゆ姫の御霊の神、金光教神戸教会初代、Founding Minister of the 神戸 Church、杉原勲の御霊の神、金光教福崎教会初代、Founding Minister of the 福崎 Church、牛尾広美道分け真柱牛の御霊の神、二代教会長 Second Head Minister、牛尾小春照玉道森姫の御霊の神、三代教会長 Third Head Minister、牛尾広直いつの道置広則牛の御霊の神、金光教曲がり教会Founding Minister of the 金光 Church of 曲がり、中橋淳太郎伊谷広照真道分け牛の御霊の神、中林吉野真心吉耐え大戸寺の御霊の神、金光教鶴岡教会初代 Founding Minister of the 金光 Church of 鶴岡川上正夫道分け真柱牛の御霊の神、初代夫人 Founding Minister's Wife 川上美沙夫水玉道立姫の御霊の神、金光教日本橋教会五代教会長 The Fifth Head Minister of the 金光 Church of 日本橋畑康牛の御霊の神、金光教サンフランシスコ教会三代教会長 Third Head Minister of the San Francisco Church 松井文夫牛の御霊の神、三代教会長夫人松井文子姫の御霊の神、池川ファミリー、松本ファミリー、佐伯ファミリー、田中ファミリー、怒りファミリー、厚く御礼申し上げ立て祭ります。池川牧夫赤徳万人導き牛の御霊の神、池川近江赤徳万人導き姫の御霊の神、池川珍子の御霊の神、サンドラ初子清水怒りの御霊の神、テッド東郷怒りの御霊の神、池川信子イラツメの御霊の神、井川ファミリー、藤本ファミリー、厚く御礼申し上げます。井川五郎時羽牛の御霊の神、井川久代綾音姫の御霊の神、井川千代子玉つゆ枠語の御霊の神、井川咲子つゆ川久語の御霊の神、井川佐野よとも家いらつめの御霊の神、 伊川豊道のり五教牛の御霊の神。伊川雅子照和姫の御霊の神。伊川澄子の御霊の神。伊川ケネフ博士の御霊の神。O'Farrell family, Ivy family, Norman family, Williams family, Sanchez family, Landeros family, Whaley family, Fong family, and Ping family. Enrique Sanchez no mitama no kami. Catherine Williams no mitama no kami. Leslie Norman no mitama no kami. Mildred Fong no mitama no kami. Raymond Fong no mitama no kami. Linda Fong no mitama no kami. Ota family, Nagai family, Inoue family, Yamamoto family. Ota Shunsuke no mitama no kami. Ota Hana no mitama no kami. Ota Daikichi no mitama no kami. 大田勝田の御霊の神。大田三木牛の御霊の神。大田竹の戸地の御霊の神。大田実の御霊の神。大田義恵の御霊の神。山本善吉馬氏正義彦の御霊の神。We offer our hearts of appreciation to the spirits honored at the altars of the deceased at the Honolulu Church, Wahiawa Church, Hilo Church, Airaku Church, Hongo Church, Koto Church, Hamada Church, Saga Church, Sapporo South Church, Saidaiji Church, Wakkanai Church, and Marifu Church. Kodama family, Yoshino family, Hongo family, Takahashi family, Yano family, Nishida family, Yamanaka family, Nagai family, Otsubo family, Nishimura family, Takahashi family, Oishi family, Kitaka family, Nishikawa family, Kobayashi family, Nakamura family, Shirai family, Miura family, Sato family, and Shimizu family. 厚く御礼申し上げたてまつります。Reverend Yuemon Kitaka, Reverend Wataru Kobayashi, Reverend Masayuki Kodama, Reverend Kikoe Kodama, Reverend Makio Nagai, Reverend Denzo Nishimura, Reverend Natsuo Nishimura, Reverend Soichiro Otsubo, Reverend Katsuhiko Otsubo, Reverend Mitsaki Otsubo, Reverend Koki Shimizu, Reverend Iku Shirai, Reverend Shinsei Konko, Reverend Haruko Takahashi, Reverend Masahiko Yoshino, Reverend Sugako Yoshino. We offer our hearts of appreciation to the spirits honored at the altar of the deceased at the San Diego Church, Seattle Church, Fresno Church, San Jose Church, Gardena Church, Lancaster Church, and Los Angeles Church. Hideshima family, Otsubo family, Tateno family, Yuasa family, Ishiwata family, Yamada family, Okazaki family, Kandori family, Tsuki family, Fujimoto family, Nishi family, Goto family, Takeda family, Niiyama family, Takayama family, Umemoto family, Uzunoe family, Yugawa family. Mrs. Yasoji Hideshima, Reverend Rikimatsu Hideshima, Reverend Mumeo Hideshima, Mr. Toru Hideshima, Mr. Harold Aloysius Ryan, Ms. Michiko Pren, Reverend Bunjiro Hirayama and Mrs. Suzuko Hirayama, Reverend Haruko Ishiwata, Reverend Toshitsugu and Mrs. Toyono Kandori, Mrs. Sadae Kandori, Mr. Ken Saburo Kandori, Reverend Hiromichi Kimura, and Mrs. Shizuko Kimura, Reverend Fumi Niiyama, Mr. Tanezo Niiyama, Ms. Noriko Niiyama, Ms. Mei Niiyama, Mrs. Fujie Shimono, Mr. Kyoshi Shimono, Ms. Kei Umemoto, Reverend Kotaro Nishi, Mr. Kotaro Nishi Jr., Reverend Kamekichi Otsubo, Reverend Torao Tateno, Reverend Taichi and Mrs. Yoshie Tsuyuki, Reverend Alfred Yoshihisa Tsuki, Reverend Isao and Tomoyo Goto, Reverend Kazuo Suzukawa, Reverend Reiko Suzukawa, Reverend Sadako and Jiro Takeda, Reverend Asataro Yamada, Reverend Yasukichi Yasumura, Reverend Kisa Yubasa, Reverend Michihiro Yubasa, Reverend Norikazu Yukawa. Archer family, Debbie Archer, Aroyo family, Ayabe family, Mrs. Fusako Ayabe, Mr. Roy Ayabe. Boyaju family, Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Brown family. Claire family. Stacy and Claire. Fujita family. Yasuhara family. Mr. Minoru Fujita. Fujiwara family. Ginsburg family. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Hamada family. Hamasaki family. Mrs. Harue Hamasaki. Hayashi family. Kobayashi family. Dr. Megumi Karen Kobayashi. Hirota family. Mr. Tadashi Hirota. Hoshino family. James Hoshino. Hughes family. Imano family. Inoue family. Tamae Inoue, Emiko Inoue. Kaneshige family. Kando family. Karakawa family. Nakano family. Kawahara family. Kawata family. Mr. Sam Saburo Kawata and Mrs. Edna Yukie Kawata. Kayono family. Hirata family. Asanuma family. Takasugi family. Kamenosuke Hirata. Nui Hirata. Yasutaro Kayano. Kishino Hakayano. Horace Kome Kayano. Kyoko Kayano. Roy Masayuki Kayano. Michiko Asanuma. Hugo Yugo Kayano. Kosugi family. Huida family. Lang family. Tomio Lang. Matsui family. Tetsuo Matsui. Miyagawa family. Diaz family. Mr. Kyoshi Miyagawa. Madam Mitsuhiro Bando. Mrs. Norman Haruko Diaz. Mr. Bill Hideo Miyagawa. Mr. Richard Kazuo Miyagawa. Miyai family. Dr. Katsumi Miyai. Miyake family. Yoshiko K. Kawata. Morio family. Ms. Megumi Morio. Murashige family. Nagatoshi family. Nakatsu family. Nakayama family. Mr. Jiro Nakayama. Mrs. Harue Nakayama. Unduna family. Mr. Eric Unduna. Niiyama family. Miss May Niiyama. Miss Harue Niiyama. Miss Fujie Niiyama. Miss Noriko Niiyama. Nishida family. Mr. Roy Nishida. Oka family. Mr. Shutaro Oka. Miss Ario Itano. Mrs. Peggy Oka. Mr. Hajime Oka. Mr. Isao Oka. Mr. Masao Oka. Mr. Don Chikara Oka. Mr. Takeo Oka. Mr. Teiji Oka. Mr. Dan Hidekazu Oka. Mr. Terumasa Ted Oka. Okazaki family. Mr. Tomomichi Okazaki. Mrs. Namino Okazaki. Mr. Masato Matt Okazaki. Mrs. Sanae Okazaki. Omura family. Moriwaki family. And Yasutake family. Sueo Omura. Chie Omura. Kakutaro Omura. Eikichi Omura. Nobu Omura. Tsugio Omura. Reverend Mitsuko Yasutake. Reverend Mitsumasa Yasutake. Ono family. Saiki family. Seki family. Spencer family. Diana Frances Spencer, Princess of Wales. Sugimoto family. Tagami family. Tambara family. Sumiyuki Tambara. Tanaka family. Kipnappa family. Umemoto family. Mr. Henry Hank Umemoto. Ms. Keiko Umemoto. Urata family. Mr. Bert and Mrs. Edith Urata. Wata family. Windsor family. Elizabeth Alexandra May. Queen Elizabeth II. Prince Philip, Duke of Eddington. Yamaguchi family. Yamaguma family. Yamamoto family. Mr. George Yamamoto. Yamauchi family. Haru Yamauchi. Shinzo Yamauchi. Mikie Yamauchi. Kiyomi Yamauchi. Masae Yamauchi. Yasuda family. James Seishiro Yasuda. Yoshimoto family. Hayashi family. Leah Hayashi. To the revered Mitama spirits of all related people, and to all the Mitama spirits who are seeking guidance, those who are missing, and victims of natural and human-made disasters, war, accidents, terrorist attacks, crime, illnesses and diseases, and other tragic events that may have happened or are happening in the world. We've gathered here with deepest reverence on this warm day in observance of the annual Autumn Memorial Ceremony to remember, honor, and pray for those whom I called out today, as you are all the foundation and support of our blessed lives. So, Mitama spirits of all Konkokyo ministers and your families, we would like to thank you for your devotion as the foundation of the Konko faith, as well as continuously supporting us here today and every day as Mitama spirits. Your virtue shines ever so brightly in our daily lives. To the Mitama spirits of the ministers of the Kongo churches of North America, we acknowledge the many struggles and difficulties that you have encountered and persevered throughout your endeavor in spreading the Kongo faith here on the North American continent, while clinging to Tenchi Kanenokami's love and virtue. Through your dedication and consecrated work of Torietsigi, we have been blessed in all aspects of our life, our faith life, and assured us of our blessedness when it is our turn to enter into the spiritual world after passing. Please continue to guide us so that we can follow the wishes of Tenchi Kanenokami. To the Mitama spirits of the church believers, family members, friends, and those offered names today, we are very grateful for you, for your dedication to your pursuit of the Konko faith, as well as your perseverance and devotion to your family and communities. We cannot help but to say thank you for your love and guidance. As you transformed into spiritual beings, you continue to protect and guide your loved ones. Sadly, sometimes we are unable to recognize the blessings and beauty in our lives, and thus we apologize for our arrogance and ignorance. However, we take this opportunity to extend our wholehearted appreciation for your contribution in our blessed lives, and we now enjoy and pray you continue to guide us to keep positivity and light in our lives. You receive many blessings, favors, and interventions from Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama with your physical form and are receiving them as Mitama no Kami. The lives given by Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama have continued from you to us and us to the next generation like a mighty river. We respect and revere those lives, ourselves, and our descendants through this service. On this day 21 years ago, we especially remember, recognize and honor those who passed away when the World Trade Center towers collapsed. We remember, recognize, and honor those who sacrificed their lives for those who encountered the buildings to save their lives, who were afflicted with ailments due to the collapsing of the buildings. We pray for your spiritual peace that as Mitama, you continue to help us to bring peace to the world. Konko Daijin imparted, quote, practice faith, receive divine blessings and practice by practicing faith. Then not only you, but also your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and even further generations can receive divine blessings. Even the spirits of your ancestors will be able to rest in peace because you receive divine blessings through your practice of faith. The blessings you have received stay with you forever. Therefore, you should build as large a foundation of blessings as possible during your life. Let us keep this, end quote. Let us keep this teaching close to our hearts so that we continue to practice faith for ourselves, our ancestors, and for future generations to come. We would like to express our gratitude to you, Mitama no Kami-sama. You are always looking over and guiding us through your workings are revealed to all of us daily. As we walk with you in life and communicate with you through prayer, we nurture the mutual relationship, that special and divine bond between us. Mahalo. We pray that the bond continues to grow and shine ever so brightly. We reverently acknowledge that through the love and virtue of Ikigami Konko Daijin-sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama, and all the Mitama spirits, that we are allowed to live and enjoy our blessed lives. And for that, we are grateful. This morning, we would like to remember and honor those who passed away in the month of September. Reverend Yasushi Hata, Reverend Sadako Takeda, Reverend Haruko Ishiwata, Chioko Igawa, Yokiko Igawa, Hisayo Igawa, 80 years. Narihiko Sumida, Emiko Igawa, Haru Yamauchi, 35 years. Noriko Igawa, Takayo Kawahara, Sachiko Etagaki, Debbie Archer. Thank you for continuing to watch, guide, and protect your descendants. Dear pioneers and natives who are the foundation and strength of California and United States of America, we acknowledge you and the hardships you endured in order to survive and create a future for the generations to come. We honor and admire your courage and determination, and pray that your descendants will continue to rise up and bring pride not only to you, but to your respective nations. We pray for the deceased Mitama spirits who are seeking salvation, to whom nobody prays for, and to those who have experienced suffering from wars, accidents, crime, terrorism, natural disasters, illnesses, and diseases, for their tachiyuki, or eternal peace and happiness, with Tenchi Kana no Kami's love, blessings, intercessions, and favors. We especially pray for those who passed due to senseless wars, such as the one taking place in the Ukraine. And we ask that you please enter the bosom of our parent Kami, seek Konko Daijin's Toritsugi, and find salvation and joy. To the beloved spirits of our ancestors and believers, as well as the Mitama spirits, please accept the offerings placed before you today, as well as the Tamagushi, as an expression of our everlasting gratitude and prayer for your workings, light, virtue, and tachiyuki. Dear Mitama no Kami-sama, please continue to protect, guide, and enrich not just us, but also your descendants, other family members, and friends. Guide your descendants to the Hiromai for Toritsugi and healing, a renewal or a birth of their faith. We continue to pray that you will practice faith with us daily, so that our aura and light can continue to shine ever so brightly. Imashi mitama no kami tachi hashi, kigami konko daijin toritsugi no mikage o komuri, waga michi no totoki mitama no kami, shinpo shara no kushiki gorejin no kantata shime tamai, nangi ni ireai shi, tabete no hitobito no ue ni, anshin, tachiyuki no omikage komura shime tamai, waga konko kyo, 北米区域、Whittier-Hill 教会を守り導きたまい、教祖様の神人物語を手本に、それぞれの神人物語を歩む。そして、教祖様140年の年柄にあって、お差し向けを受け止め、神人の道が現れてくる天地金の神の氏子として生き方を求め表す警護をさせていただくことの教団の願いのお役に立たしめたまうべく、御霊ながらに勘取りつき、勘導きたまえと、かしこみもまおす。Now, please raise your heads. At this time, I will be offering the tamakshi on behalf of Reverends Kyoshi and Wakiko Igawa. At this time, I will offer tamakshi on behalf of Reverend Yoshiko Ota of the Konko Church of Lancaster. At this time, I will offer a tamakshi on behalf of Kyoshi Igawa Jr. At this time, I will offer tamakshi on behalf of the Sanchez Ohana. At this time, I will offer tamakshi on behalf of the Fong family. And finally, I will offer tamakshi on behalf of Nancy Okazaki. At this time, please also join me in doing the four of the Haide. Please open your prayer books to page 14 for the ancestral prayer. Dear Mitama spirits, everlasting and integral part of the divine parent of the universe, we pray that the Mitama of our ancestors and family, as well as the Mitama of all people, are at eternal peace and happiness. To you who have gone before us, we give thanks wholeheartedly for paving the way through hardships and self-sacrifice, in order that we who are here today can receive all the benefits of your endeavors. To you, our ancestral spirits, we gratefully acknowledge the protection and guidance which you have bestowed upon us. We pray that you continue to protect and guide us throughout our daily lives. We pray that we realize and develop your divine virtue this and every day. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Hi, Olivia Sensei. Don't worry, Miko. It's all good. Aloha, everybody. Mahalo nui for attending today's uh, autumn service. It doesn't feel like autumn, let me tell you. It's like 90 degrees outside. It doesn't feel like autumn at all. And this is like my favorite season too. But hopefully it'll start to cool down. But thank you very much for attending. Today's service honors the Mitama spirits, our ancestors or people who have passed away. And I share this story every single year. Every year something happens to me. Every year something occurs to me, where it always has to happen. It always deals with the Mitama spirits. The first time, my first year here in California, in 2019, two things happened. First, it was the spirit of Miss Suiko O'Brien, who I guess she really wanted to be found. She wanted to, I think she knew I was coming to San Diego, and she's someone that nobody knew about. Nobody knew about this woman. She was the third daughter of the founding minister of the Kongo Church of Ueki. And she married a Mormon military man. She had her wedding. Her faith was so incredible. She made her Mormon husband get married in the Konkokyo tradition, which is kind of unheard of. But she made it happen because her faith was that strong. Her belief in Kami-sama was that strong. And even though her children were influenced, saw her faith, unfortunately, they know of Konkokyo, but they do not know about the faith of Konkokyo very well. They just see it as a Shinto religion. But that first year, through a series of events, I was able to find her grave. And it's as if she kept calling me. She kept calling me. The same thing happened with Reverend Rikimatsu Hideshima. If you know who Reverend Hideshima is, he is the founding minister of the Kongo Church of Seattle. And he's the first minister to walk outside of Japan to the United States. He's the first minister to visit the United States and to begin his missionary efforts to help people through Toritsugi. And, when he left Konkokyo, no one could find him. His grave, no one could find his grave. And it's weird. In that 2019, as if he was calling and calling. It took me 3 years. And I always wondered, if you're calling me, why don't you just give me the answer? Like, hey, here's where I am. This is where my grave is. And I used to think that until I realized, I think he was testing me. I think Hideshima Sensei was testing me to see if I would follow through, if I was really sincere. And, in the end, I was allowed to find his grave and the grave of his wife as well, Yasoji. I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity. I made a commitment to him that every year I would do a memorial service at his gravesite. I would do a gravesite memorial service in a very unique and special way. And every year something happens. Every year something happens. And today, I wanted to share with all of you. Mitama have an ability to call on us. They call on us. But at times, they're also, we always ask them for guidance. We always ask them for help. And I wanted to share a story, a very recent event, which gives me chicken skin, torihara, when I think about it. And it really involves my church and this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man who passed away way, way, way too young. And this man's name is Glenn Yabuki. He's from the Whittier-Hill Church. And when I was small, I went to the Whittier-Hill Church. I went there. I couldn't care less about services. I couldn't care less about prayer services or Getsudays. What I cared about was the Godaisai and Mitama Matsuri. Because on Godaisai morning, we all had to be at church super early. And there was massive cleaning of the church, the Hiromae, the worship hall, the downstairs, the Sonoda hall. We had to clean the outside. We had to clean the windows. And I don't know when this happened, but I was always with, I just remember being with Glenn. It's kind of interesting because my parents said, we had gone on a trip. We had taken a Hawaii tour to Japan. The Hawaii mission had this youth tour to Japan, and Glenn was on that trip. It was his honeymoon trip. And apparently, I slept between Glenn and his wife, Gail. Every time I could, I would always sleep because I don't know. I just slept between the two. Their kids would have been born much, much sooner, except I was in the way. I don't think their kids know that, but anyway, just a side story. But that's how close I was to him, and he influenced me. He influenced me to find joy, because that's what I went to church for. I enjoy doing goyo. I know it sounds weird. I don't like even cleaning my own place, but for church, I enjoy cleaning the windows, the inside and the outside. I enjoyed, we had this huge tree and we would cut the tree down. We did this mass cleaning of the branches for the tamakshi and the drying. I remember telling Glenn, I want to learn how to make ohagi, but I don't know how to do it. Glenn set it up where the obachans of the church, the Fujinkai members, all the Fujinkai jicha, all Fujinkai bachans, welcomed me. And we had such a fun time. And it was so hot. The rice ball, the mochi rice was so hot. But when it's super hot, that's when you had to attach the uncle to it. And oh, it hurts. And they're like, you can do it. You can do it. And they would tease me. But it was so much fun. Glenn helped me to realize goyo is fun. Goyo is joyous. I loved doing goyo. I really did. And when I came to San Diego, Glenn passed away in 1999. 2019, passed away in 2019, literally 4 years ago. And, it was a shock. We learned about his passing at the conference, the San Diego conference. I don't know why Kami-sama takes away these amazing people from us so early. I don't know why. Why would Kami-sama want to do that? I don't know. Kami-sama took away my cousin. He was only 60-something, and he just too young. Kami-sama took away a wonderful friend, Roy Ayabe, just too young. And I don't know, we don't know why. But I digress. So, when I'm doing goyo at the San Diego church, I have so much joy. And this is where if you heard the Norito today, and it says to help us to have a kami-centered heart, kami gokoro. But even though I'm asking Kami-sama to help me have a kami gokoro, I'm still human. I'm still human, and I can be affected by human things. That's why faith is so important. 2 months ago, I started, my heart went from a kami-centered heart, and it slowly became a human-centered heart. Slowly started shifting in that direction. And I wasn't finding the joy in doing goyo. I wasn't. Where I enjoyed it, I started not liking it. And, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realize it. And then one day we had a service in July, and we had a memorial service for one of the believers. And the family came, and we did it as part of the Getsu Desai. And the human side of me took effect. And I was hurt because this family did not even say before the service started or during the service or after the service, not one thank you. Even when they left and I saw them off, not one thank you. And I was so hurt. And that's the human side. That's the human. That's a ningen gokoro, a human-centered heart. I was so hurt because it's not the first time that some of the members, when we did memorial services, never said thank you. No thank you. Not one, arigato, not once. It was later on that night, though, that I got one sentence email that said, thank you for the service today. That's it. And my heart hurt even more. And that's the human side, human-centered heart. The following 2 weeks after that, we had another service. It was a smaller service. We had a service. And, people came and everything. And no one helped to put anything away. Now, keep in mind, nobody has ever really helped me with the cleanup. But with the osagari, the offerings from the offer, I take them down and we split them up to the different family members. And no one helped at all. The two people, one person who typically always helps, she had to go to a meeting, and the other person who always helped just sat there. And I will be honest, the human side of me took over so quickly. The first thing that came to my mind was, oh, when did I become your slave? Again, that's the human side of me. And I was so disgruntled, so hurt. And I looked at these people, I said, you, excluding one person there because of his disability, but this person is always so grateful. The other people, I'm thinking, you two of all people, never say thank you, never are treating me like a slave. And this is the human side of me. The human, and more, my kami gokoro became a ningen gokoro, a heart of a human. I was so hurt. And so everybody left kind of early because it was a short service. And I remember, that day there was a Rotary Hanashikai in Hawaii. It was a I don't know, Hanashikai, it's where we talk about faith. And so it was on Zoom, and I decided to attend, and I attended it. And I didn't realize that we were talking, and they were saying, well, how about this, and how about that? We were talking, and somehow, I shared it because they wanted to hear from me, and I shared about Glenn, how Glenn taught me about the joy of Goyo, how Glenn passed his faith on to me, the reason why he enjoyed Goyo. I was for some reason that came out of me. And after the Hanashikai was over, I was filled with joy again. And I realized, Kami-sama, moshake arimasen, I'm so sorry. I kept apologizing to Kami-sama over and over and over and over again because I realized my human heart. I realized that I had a human heart, and I apologized to Kami-sama. I say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just kept apologizing. But this was the interesting thing. I always try to take pictures of the altar so that I can remember what the altar looked like for this particular service. And I try to share that on Facebook, and I try to share it on Instagram. Well, I had gone home, and I said, okay, I'm going to upload the pictures that I took today to Instagram. So if you know anything about Instagram, when you pull up the pictures, Instagram has access to your photos on your phone. And it brings up the most recent pictures. Let me emphasize this. This is the most important thing. It brings up the most recent pictures. It brings up the most recent pictures. And so as I was going through the recent pictures, and the recent pictures were, the first set were of pictures I took of my classroom, and then the service. Okay, keep that in mind. Here is my classroom pictures, and here is the service pictures, the pictures of the altar. Smashed in between the pictures of the classroom, smashed between the pictures of the altars, was Glenn Yabuki's picture. A picture I downloaded 4 years ago. A picture I downloaded 4 years ago, and I thought, what the hell is this? Literally, I thought that, what the hell? So forgive me for that word, but that's the word I used. I thought, what the hell is this? And I thought, no, I'm dreaming. This is a joke. This can't be. This picture is not supposed to be in between here. So I went onto my laptop and I looked in my picture album, and I looked, because my laptop is connected to my cell phone, my iPhone, and I looked where the recent pictures were. His picture was not there. It was not smashed in between the pictures of my classroom and the pictures of the altars. So I scrolled up to 4 years past, and there was his picture. 4 years past. So I look at the Instagram picture. It's still there. I thought, maybe I'm going crazy. Let's try to redo this. So I redid the process again. I hadn't uploaded it yet, but I said, let's redo the process. So I redid the process, and there his picture was right smack in the middle. I said, wait. This cannot be. So I checked my phone. Maybe my phone is just weird. I checked the photo album on my phone. Here is the picture of my classroom. Here are the pictures of the altars. There's no Glenn's picture. No Glenn picture. And I go back and I looked at Instagram, and his face was right there. And I took a snapshot of it. I took a snapshot of that picture because his face was right there. And just as I'm getting emotional now, I got emotional then, because I realized it was Glenn who guided me to be part of the Rotary Shintokai, to attend that Rotary Shintokai. It was Glenn who helped me to remember the joy of Goyo. And when I saw that picture, I knew. And I never thought that Glenn was watching over me. I never thought Glenn would ever watch over me, because of he has his own children. He has his own family. He don't need to be watching over me. But I saw that picture, and it's as if he was looking at me saying, don't forget what you learned. Don't forget about the joy of Goyo. We always ask Mitama to please guide us. This was one of the very few times, and it was so vivid, so powerful. I sent an email to Reverend Akinobu Yasutake, the present head minister of the Waipahu Church. And I shared with him the story, and I sent him the picture as well, because the screenshot. I sent him the screenshot picture, and I said, Glenn's face is not supposed to be there. If you want to share this story, please feel free to share this story. But I just thought I just wanted to share this with him. Akinobu Sensei shared it with Gail, Glenn's wife. And Gail wrote, oh, that sounds like Glenn. Glenn is always watching over us. It's not the first time. He's done all of these things for our family. And even though I never saw Glenn that often, Gail wrote, Glenn was always thinking about me. He was so proud of me. He was so proud of you, Todd. He was so proud. He always kept up with you. He was always checking on you, even though you may not have known it, even though you didn't see him for a long time. He was so proud of you. That I never thought of, I always ask, Mitama-sama to guide me, to please guide me. That was the most powerful, powerful gift I have ever received from Mitama-sama. Powerful. I ask all of you, it's not a bad thing to turn to your Mitama. It's not a bad thing to ask them for help and guidance, to make sure that we are doing the right thing. As Reverend Masaki Takahashi and Reverend Taro Konko once said, Mitama-sama have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to watch over us. It is to guide us. It is to help us. But we have to ask for that help and that guidance. And I ask all of you today to please, use your Mitama. Remember them, thank them, but pray and ask them for help. Ask them for guidance. In my case, I think Glenn saw that I was going down the wrong path. My heart was totally going down the wrong pathway. And if Glenn hadn't stepped in, I don't know where my heart would be at this moment. And so I'd like to, I'm so grateful. And I wanted to share that story with you because I know some of you question, do the Mitama-sama help us? Can the Mitama-sama help us? How do they guide us? And maybe my story was a little dramatic. But I know in my everyday life, if I really look, there's always someone there to help me, guide me, and watch me. So I pray that all of you can receive that kind of okage, where you can recognize the Mitama's working in your everyday life. With that, I'd like to end my sermon here, and thank you all. Next month will be I on behalf of, I would like to take this time to also thank all of you and apologize to all of you. In 2 weeks, I'll be going back to Hawaii. And if you got the email, I'll be going back. My parents are having, it's not major surgery. It's just the healing time for the surgery. My father's is the longest, it's 3 weeks. And so I'm sorry for the horrible inconvenience I'm causing all of you in terms of the services. If I'm correct, it's the 14th plus, I think it's the 21st or the 22nd that we will have our next monthly ceremony. Then 2 weeks after that, in November, will be the Ikiyami Konko Daijin Grand Ceremony here at the Whittier Church. So if you want to come and join us here, please feel free to come and join us. We welcome you. If you want to watch from YouTube or Instagram, please feel free to watch from YouTube and Instagram. We welcome all of you. But until next month, please take care. Please stay safe. And we'll see you then. Ahui ho, malama pono. Thank you. Thank you, Miko. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Kaz. I think that's Kaz.